As a matter of fact, he spoke of them as being jerks. You just don't do that, Mr. President. It isn't cool.
It isn't cool, Mr. President. Look, that was Pat Robertson actually breaking from Donald Trump just a little bit. Now, this is over this decision, of course, to use the National Guard to crack down on protesters in Minneapolis and as well as all over the country. In fact, Trump has been telling governors, you are weak, you're pathetic, and if you don't, if you have issues in your cities and you don't want to call the National Guard, well, too bad. I'm going to send them in anyway. And so, of course, there's going to be people that are against it. And so now this is interesting because a little bit of a high profile break from Trump, from the president's actions. Again, Pat Robertson, it's not like Pat Robertson has been critical of the president, but there are some times where Pat Robertson has surprised me. He appears to be somewhat pro marijuana. I know that's kind of crazy. But, also at times has been able to criticize Donald Trump. And so it is interesting. All right. So now let me give you some more context. Obviously, there's more to that video, but I really want you to see more of what Robertson has to say.
And it seems like now is the time to say, I understand your pain. I want to comfort you. I think it's time we love each other. But the president took a different course. He said, I am the president of law and order. And he issued a heads up. He said, I'm ready to send in military troops if the nation's governors don't act to quell the violence that has rocked American city. As a matter of fact, he spoke of them as being jerks. You just don't do that, Mr. President. It isn't cool.
Look, either he's dropped, he's been gone senile and dropped the act, or I don't know. What's going on with Pat Robertson? And that's probably the strangest thing. But again, it does follow some criticism from, people in the administration that are criticizing Trump's actions. There are a couple of high profile defections of people that were in the administration over this. And so it is interesting. So they're saying, hey, this is too far. Look, we didn't sign up for this. For sure, casual racism, bombing brown people. Yeah, of course, we do that all the time. That's how we make money. But using the National Guard against American citizens in order to defend a butthurt clown like Donald Trump, no, that's too far. We're not interested in that. And so that's fascinating. I wonder who's going to speak out next. I mean, is it going to be anybody from Fox News? Is it going to be any high-profile, conservative on television? No. It's not going to be Tucker Carlson, that's for sure. He's a fake populist, and he's already out there saying, watch out for the armed thugs coming to your city. So now he's echoing white supremacist groups, right, that are saying, oh, no, they're gonna stop attacking the inner city. And they're going to come to your white suburban neighborhood. And they're going to take they're going to take it back with their, what you took from them or something like that. That echoes one of the white supremacist groups that actually tried to use a fake Antifa account, right? They created an Antifa account and said, oh, this organization, we're going to come and attack white neighborhoods. Totally false. Antifa isn't even an organization, and so they don't do things like that. Okay, so now anyway, look, the majority of protests have been peaceful. The police reactions to those protests, as we've shown you, as we've talked about, have not been peaceful in the majority of cases. I mean, again, you had the police attack domestic media as well as foreign media. And so it's not going to be members of Fox News who are going to be attacked, though, right? And I talk about them attacking the media. That's the one media they're not going to go after. And in fact, there's a reason for that. It's because Fox News is literally out there doing propaganda in favor of the Trump administration's reactions. And they're also saying, well, if the protests were peaceful, we would have supported them. Really? Really? So, wait. Now, Black Lives Matter has been doing protests for some time, right? In fact, there was a man that was kneeling during a football game that was talking about, hey, police shoot black people, and that's wrong, and they shouldn't do it. How did Fox News react to that person?
You did own a professional football team. What would you do with Colin Kaepernick?
I don't think I'm going to tell you what I do.
You don't stand up in the middle of our workplace and start creating chaos because we get fired.
But they're not creating chaos.
That's chaos.
So why is this a big deal? Why is it, in the end, dangerous for this country?
These acts of protest are beyond disrespectful.
He's trying to make a point, but I don't think he's making it the correct way. I think what he's doing is very bad for the spirit of the country.
Just because something is legal doesn't mean you ought to do it.
Colin Kaepernick gives money to terrorists.
Using the excuse of Black Lives Matter or some other issue that they probably haven't even read up on. They just repeat whatever Colin Kaepernick says on any given day.
So look at the people he's donated money to. These are radicals in many cases, very anti-American, ethnocentrically racist black organizations, and again, built on a lie.
It is a myth that police are brutalizing black people at some epidemic rate.
He acts like he's standing up for Black Lives Matter. There was one, I don't know, I've never been able to confirm this. I looked earlier today that he might have converted to Islam in the offseason.
So what are these protests really about? Well, some players claim their core complaint is police brutality, in which case, fine, protest that. Learn the facts, make your case, propose solutions, run for office, try to make the country better. But no, that's too hard. It's easier to follow the demagogues and attack America itself.
That entire reel, it's amazing. They look at Kaepernick, who did a nonviolent protest. All he did was take a knee during the national anthem, right? Protested very, very peacefully, just like they claim that they want, right? Oh, man, we would support these protests if they were protesting peacefully. How dare they do the riots and stuff like that? Oh, my God. But wait, you already had that. You had that with Kaepernick. And you saw the reaction. Terrorists. They're supporting terrorists. And the whole entire thing is just a reel of, not like that, though. We want you to but not like that. No protests from black people are going to be good enough for Fox News, right? Because they're not good faith actors. They are bad faith actors. And so, no protests ever going to be good enough for them. It's always going to be, no, not like that. Complete and utter hypocrisy, right? And so, look, Fox News, by the way, they're also putting out news, fake news to justify the crackdowns. And so I wouldn't be surprised to see Uncle Pat go in that direction. But for now, he's actually saying something that makes sense. Criticizing for, Donald Trump and for doing this. And that's really interesting. And maybe this is a result of the faith community breaking with Donald Trump a bit. His support isn't as strong as it used to be among people of faith and even among evangelicals. So I don't know if that's part of this trend. Maybe we'll have to see, but I am quite surprised that the battle has been joined by Skeletor of all people. Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed that free video. Now I'm going to have to ask you a favor. Between the demonetization and the YouTube algorithm messing around with view counts, etc., we're having a hard time adjusting to the new YouTube reality, which is where you guys come in. See, we have a patreon.com/TYTNation set up to help us rely on you guys, the viewers, instead of big corporate ads. Look, you know the show. You know I'm not in favor of big corporations anyway. So help us transition away from relying on the ad model to pay the bills and sign up to be a patron, patreon.com/TYTNation. That goes a long way to help us keep the lights on. And you guys will know that you're supporting independent progressive media.